charges, whatever, you're on your own at this point because you were in charge of charges. Thank you, Deputy Councilor, for helping us. Oh, the coffee on this table is full, so we need to put it on it to stay awake.
Just another quick announcement for anybody that does want to speak at today's meeting. This microphone is here for you to speak into. If you do need it handed to you, it is wireless. So you just can't walk over. And yes, I'm ready to go, Sam.
I'm going to call this meeting to order at 10:11, just because Mike called it to order at 10:16 last year, so I beat him. I am going to declare quorum, which is what I'm supposed to do. You're all here and you're all voting. All right. Sorry, I'm not as tall as Karen is going to take some minutes for us. I am hoping, yesterday, we didn't talk about this, but would you please lead us in our opening convening prayer, please? And you can use that microphone right there. Thank you.
Can everybody hear Sandy?
When we're quiet, we can hear her. May we join our hearts in prayer. Gracious God, we do give you thanks for this congregation and all that it has meant to so many people over many, many years. We thank you for your presence with us as we gather together to talk about the past year and think about this coming year. We ask that you bless our deliberations, keep us in connection with each other, and move us toward a finish for this meeting quickly. Amen.
If you could all please look at the agenda, and we need a motion to adopt the agenda for today and a second.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda. I'll second. Who seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Oh, are there any additions to the agenda? Any additions? Any additions? We can do that 3 times, a couple. No, we're good. All right. As you can tell, I am prepared because guess what? I'm not the president. I'm only the vice president. We are all the president. So you get what you get today. All right. Minutes from the 2024 annual meeting we need to review those and approve those minutes. Page 7, please look at the minutes from last year. Last year. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes from last year's meeting?
Gary.
A second? Arlene. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are blessed to be electing some new council members today. I would love our 3 candidates to stand, please. Lynn Barber, Terry Lidke or Lukey, sorry. Oh, Lidke. And Terry Traska. Thank you all for offering to be on the ballot. All 3 have bios that have been out for a few weeks, and I want to thank you from the bottom bottom of my heart for joining us. We're not a bad group. Once in a while, we get a little rowdy, but, and thank you, Lynn, for breaking the tradition, because Terry Mullins really should have been on the ballot, so we had all three Terrys, but we'll start calling you Terry Barber. All right. Terry L, Terry T, Terry B. You can thank Lynn later. All right. I need to ask if there are any additional nominations for council. Any additional nominations for council? For the last time, any additional nominations for council? All right, we are going to pass out some ballots.
I move to make a unanimous ballot for all three candidates.
We have a move to have a unanimous ballot for all three candidates. Do we have a second? Is that Daniel or Dan? Dan.
I don't think we can. I think the Constitution state says we have to vote.
I have to listen to the experts because I have no idea.
Folks, because it's an anonymous vote, by asking you to vote, you're stating yea or nay. You're now reviewing that it's not anonymous anymore. So the Constitution states it has to be an anonymous vote, and we need to have it. So, yeah, just for clarity.
Same for and all.
Oh, everybody already said, I already said no, I already said no.
I think we are just going to pass out the endowment forms now, since we're doing this, because that's so late. Votes are being collected. I would love for Joanne Mansell to stand, please. Joanne is our endowment candidate, and we want to thank her for being on the ballot. Are there any other nominations for endowment? Any other nominations for endowment? One last time, any other nominations for endowment? Yes. Shirley Clark and Becky Miller have offered to come for us. statistics. There we go. One of our co-presidents here is going to share the annual statistics with you. So I just wanted to clarify the statistics a little bit. Let me go to the page here. I helped Carrie do the report this year because she was feeling pretty brand new at that. And last year, Gloria had helped me with the statistics. And it just seemed a little bit, but like we had 0 baptism this year, like this part's kind of standard. 4 kids confirmed, 2, this is on page 11.
Does everybody have an agenda or booklet? You did?
2 member deaths, 2 non-member deaths, and then we had 2 member funerals and memorials, and then those had actually been from the previous year. 0 weddings, 6 new members, plus 4 new members by right of confirmation. So the 6 new members were adults that had joined, and then we had another 4 new members by right of confirmation. And we had 2 members that were removed either by death or had transferred out, had requested that. So, what we had done in previous years, we were looking at active members and inactive members, and Carrie and I really did not know how to figure out how many inactive members there were, like, really did not know how to do that. What exactly is considered an inactive member? We do have 22 members listed on our homebound list. But the numbers of active members and non-active or inactive members, those we took from the contribution analysis report, which is on page, and it says F4 because at the very back of the report, the financial section, those are the F pages. So we had 84 giving units. And a giving unit might be a single person like me, or a married couple like Terry and Lois, or a family with 3 kids. So these numbers of active and inactive are based on giving units, like the envelope number that we have. The plan is, now that Carrie is established and she's feeling comfortable in her role, and we have the annual report this year finished, starting in February, she's going to be learning the Church Windows program, which is the software application. Yeah. It's been on hold, for a while, just with all of the transitions. So Carrie is willing to undertake that. We are hoping that next year, this will be like truly an accurate number and not just based on what we think we have, if you know what I mean. So, are there any questions on that?
For certain budgetary items, subject to quite a bit of change from this report to the end of 25, when they actually look at the actual numbers. Oh,
Yeah, this is just numbers for right now. Just numbers.
numbers of people for membership?
Yeah.
Sorry.
If there are any questions, please come and find me afterwards, but that's what we thought would be like our most accurate, because we had some data to back it up. So hopefully next year we'll have like specific numbers. Thank you. So we're in a tricky spot in the agenda, because it says pastor's annual report. Obviously, our pastor is not here halfway through. And at this point, we're not, Dave, if you would like to say something, you're welcome to, but Dave has done so much for this church. I want to anytime, and I'll give you a report time, but if you don't want to, that's fine. fine with me too.
Just a brief addendum to what's written in the annual report, what I wrote. And that is to reiterate Michael's words of appreciation for what so many of you did yesterday and in preparation for yesterday. That was the first memorial service or funeral that I've done in this church. I've done a couple in Wausau when Gloria was away in the past, but those were in funeral homes, and that's a different setting altogether. And that you put all of this together without my even knowing who to ask in many instances, and got it all together so well. I know, as Michael read this morning, the family really deeply appreciated all that you did. Chris came to talk briefly with me at the luncheon yesterday, and she reiterated how easy it was for her to talk to various people, and they said, oh, I haven't had to make any phone calls, everybody's been calling me and volunteering. And that's the way you all operated. So that was really excellent. And Chris was in tears when she was talking with me about that, because I know it moved her to know how much you did in preparation for that service and carrying it out. So thank you.
Thank you, Candy. We're for Jean with our treasurer's report.
I'm a little green at this, so bear with me.
Gene, what page are you on?
Actually, I'm on page 13 where the treasurer's review is. The treasurer's report wasn't listed up there, but that's what I'm going to give you.
Well, this was that was last year, so page 13 was, last year's agenda. So then we have to go to the financial pages in the back.
Okay. This is all from Chris's work on the computer, and we just go over it every month. And I've just taken notes from his last report ending December 2024. At the beginning of last year, of 24, we showed a surplus of $6,064 and a deficit of $4,033. Now, you're not gonna find these numbers in the report. We ended the year 24 with a total surplus for the year of $19,110 and a deficit decrease of $23,143.99. So we can commend ourselves, I think, for that. Really nice to see that. Compared to 2023, and ending December 34, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. Total contributions or donations decreased by $1,445, and total script income decreased by $486. Total of all incomes increased by $5,093, and total expenses were reduced by $18,050. As is the custom at every year end, we transferred a total of $4,754 to the general fund from interest earned from seasonal funds, coffee funds, facility use funds, and kitchen funds. So a big thank you goes
Yeah, on January 10th, it was a Friday night, we did the annual review for 2024. And it was Todd Hagedorn, and we were blessed to have him because he's a financial professional. And so he's done this for his livelihood for many, many years. And myself and then Chris O'Connor was there. And so we basically reviewed all the accounts and cross-checked them, looked for anything unusual or large items, and everything looked fine, and everything balanced. The only thing we noticed was our safe needs some repairs. We have a safe in the office, and sometimes it doesn't. People have a hard time latching it, unlatching it, so we're probably gonna either have to get it repaired or get a new one. But other than that, everything was good. Any questions?
And then I'll just mention the 24 scholarship report. The Lou Baker scholarship payments of $500 were made on behalf of the following students in 24. William Stephen North, and Danielle Kuzinski. Blake Pennings received the Lillian Freelet Memorial Scholarship, and these are the students who sent proof of their enrollment in school. So thank you.
Wanted to make a clarification. Jean was reading off of a financial report that is not included in the annual report, but it will be added to the meeting minutes that I take today. It probably should have been in the annual report, but it wasn't, so I'll just add that to our meeting minutes today, so that you can see what she was reading from. And the other comment I wanted to make is obviously our financial condition improved because we have a part-time minister versus a full-time minister that we're paying. There was, however, some additional, even despite that, we did look at the numbers in council, and there was an increase in giving overall, in addition to the savings of the part-time pastor. But in my mind, the decision that we made to go look for a part-time full pastor, I think these finances reflect that we can build our health. Maybe one day we can afford a full-time pastor again, and this is maybe our road to get there. Thank you.
I would love to hear the Desire report. Lynn, do you have anything you want to add about the Desire? Or it's all written in there?
It's all written in there. It was super fun.
It was fun. Lynn said it was good. And she gave her smile. I'm so proud of her for smiling at that point. Yes. Becky, would you like to say anything about script? All right. This is the part where we might go a little quick. All right. Our committee reports, Board of Christian Ed. Lynn, do you have anything you want to add? Here.
Beyond what's in, everybody did report, so.
Yeah, nothing really to add. I just wanted to make sure I thank the people who help us out on our Wednesday night, because we really do have a fun time. If you peek in the library before you leave, you'll see where all of our cardboard creations are, so we're giving a chance to use our creativity. You'll probably start to see them in the fellowship hall. We moved them out for the funeral yesterday. But we do have a really great group of kids, and we have a lot of fun. And if you ever want to come and have like this just silly evening with funny kids, you should join us on a Wednesday night. Barry?
Well, we're not always here, so I'm just curious, how many children are here Wednesday?
We have about, excuse me, about 13 children. We have a little guy who's 3.5, and he's kind of our wanderer. So sometimes he participates and sometimes he doesn't. He's very entertaining there.
He's a year and a half.
Oh, he's a year and a half. Okay, yeah, okay.
But we've got kiddos from like 4 years to about, well, our kids are actually like 12-ish. And then we have 3 of last year's confirmands who come almost every single Wednesday night, and they're our helpers. And when we get started on a project, like I'll kind of explain what we're doing, and then they'll all get started on their work. And the little kids don't even come to me, like I just kind of stand there, because they want to be helped by our confirmand girls. And that's Kylan and Ellie and Evie. So we just have a super fun night. So it was the kids that you saw at, on the Christmas pageant, if you had a chance to see the Christmas pageant. Those are our kids who are pretty regular there. We had a couple extras for Christmas.
And we're hoping that this year we pull those children.
Yeah, Arlene was saying, we're hoping that we get a few more. We got a couple that were at Christmas time, and, the weekday, it's a little bit late at night for a couple of our kids. So we really try to wrap up by 7:15, maybe 7:20 at the latest, so that those kiddos can get home and to bed on time. Yes, so we do have like about 13 children, that usually maybe 14, and then we also have about that many adults too. So we typically feed, and by we I don't mean me, because I just eat myself, but Lois, Terry's here quite a bit, Helen is here, Joe is here every week, Joyce drops off food, Terry's here quite a bit, Betty, and Deb answers here every week. So we'll feed, 25 to 35 people, and it's fun. It's like this real chatty little group, and they get kind of silly, and it's super fun.
No, not gonna put a microphone. Everybody can hear me from here, believe me.
No.
Okay, all right. I just want to say that.
Turn it on for you.
Oh, I turn it on.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that, as a new member, we have been blessed to have the experienced people who tell me what to do. And it's wonderful. And I want to mention that Peace Power Nights, the food that we have, I would say 90+% of it is all donated by either gifts from the church or from donations from Deb's aunt. Aunt Jerry, who used to be a member here, sent us a wonderful donation. So the Peace Power Nights, as far as the food and everything, it's just fellowship. It doesn't really cost the church. And then we take a collection every week too. So, and this week, the Chris baby came up yesterday, and so any leftover foods from yesterday is going to be what we're having for Peace Power Nights on this coming Wednesday, so they donated that. So we're really thankful to the church.
Thank you, Lois.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's right. I forgot, we need a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Sorry. Motion? Betty, a second? I'll second. Jill? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks. We are, yes. Board Commissioner, we just talked about music, worship and music. Does, Lynn, do you want to say anything?
I don't know anything to add to that, but I'm sure nobody knows about you.
Hey, you're the committee chair, you get to use whatever the time you have for whatever you like, Lynn.
It's on.
This is not about releasing words, but it's about all of us. Another meeting, awareness of each of the people around, what they can teach. Diligent people, caring, concerned. Meetings for years, this is what I've learned. Find those people whose values you share. What happens? Love is there.
One thing I will mention is we want to personally thank Jill for all of your work on Alter Committee. I very much appreciate it. I know you are taking a step back from that, but you're still here, so we'll get you for something else. Thank you for the Endowment Committee. There is a report submitted, and we're going to get to a vote later on in our, I just want to make sure it's there. Okay, in our new business, we'll talk a little bit more in depth about some other things, but do you want to say anything now? Okay. Property Committee, Eric, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, we have had a lot of leaky roof problems over the years. We're hoping they're fixed now, because they actually found a problem last spring, which is resolved, so. But I want to mainly I want to thank everybody that's helped me. I'm retired now, so I got time to be here, but I need help, because the building is getting older, so there's a lot of things that go wrong. We've got a lot of great helpers, and I want to thank all of you that helped, especially with the big raking day, and we got tons of leaves over there, we got rid of all of them. So I just want to thank everybody for your help.
Ooh, this is a big one. Search Committee. Shirley, did you want to say something, or Terry, or?
No, our team just continues to, meet and wait for the candidate that will fly and will fit the church.
Okay. Can everybody from the Search Committee stand up, please?
And Joellen.
And Joellen. I think we need to give them a huge round of applause for all of them. There's a little bit left, because when the candidates come in, we get to do a little more, but we really appreciate what you've done so far. Michael, would you like to say anything about tech?
No. Just some quick comments about tech. It's one of those things that I'm passionate about. I feel it is important. I have talked to people that watch our YouTube videos on a regular basis, so I consider it kind of an outreach mission for me. But I do want to thank all those that have stepped up and helped throughout that, specifically Eric, my wife Paula, Chris Franey, who does those beautiful PowerPoints every week, and even did this week, so, through everything she went through, she still did it. And then, of course, Bruce Wozleski, who can't be with us today. But anybody else that has helped in the past, and I'm just simply forgetting to mention.
Emily.
What's that?
Emily.
Emily, yes, thank you, Emily. Yeah, she, so.
I'm no Paul here.
But again, it's not about what it is, it's about the ministries we do, and whether we think it's a good ministry or not, it touches somebody, and it's important to them. And I've always said, if we do the work, if it only affects one person, that's worth doing. And again, I've had these conversations. We'll continue to upgrade. The next step is to upgrade Chris Aquani's computer, which, as the secretary learns church Windows, he is the server for church Windows, and then we have to upgrade her computer to make it work with church Windows. So it's going to be a bit of a process. There is some money in the technology fund that's donated specifically for that purpose. We'll continue to upgrade technology. The camera that we're using currently from RAM is beginning to show some age. So in the next year, we'll probably be replacement of the camera. But that's what we're looking technology-wise. If anybody else has any suggestions they want to see or change, let me know. And also on the side note, projectors are getting old again. Those will likely be replaced in the next year or two. But that's just moving forward. Yeah, I'd be happy to entertain any volunteers or any questions anybody would have. Thank you for your time.
Betty, it's been over a year since we've done community outreach. It's been resurrected, so I'm super excited. Just going to share a little bit. You come on. Come there. Okay.
Just one quick thank you to
them, the little food pantry probably wouldn't say it's stocked and wonderful as it is, because they put a lot of work into it, and I appreciate you very, very much. I appreciate my team covering for me when I go on my adventures and make sure everything stays in line. So I just a huge thank you to everybody for always supporting us and making sure we have the donations we need for Open Door. And we did do extra sack lunches this last month because of the cold weather. So thank you all very much.
I'm just going to get I was at a friend's house yesterday, and this nice couple's there, and their kids are at the local parochial school, and they're getting to be done, and she said, oh, I was looking for a new church, and she said, well, where do you go? Because I said I had to go home and get ready for today, and she said, oh, I go by that like 40 times a day. Well, they live right here. She goes, I just love it. How's your little pantry doing? So I believe she's even been one that might have even dropped some things off. So it's seen, it's noticed, and I think she's gonna come to church with me sometimes. So I'm excited. The CARES team, would you like to add anything, Terry? Okay.
Well, yes, Ashley, I would, yes.
Oh, okay.
Right, go to the mic. You're being a mouth to it. I know. Just, our CARES team is kind of, what should I say? Kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit after Pastor Lori left and whatever, and that's partially my fault, because I didn't really inform Dave of what we were doing kind of either. So I'm gonna be talking to Dave. But anyway, if you don't let the office know if a family member is sick or in the hospital or something like that, or pastor, no, we don't get that information, and therefore aren't real good about maybe sending a card or finding out what's going on. So just really inform the office or Pastor Dave or me, and let us know when somebody is in need, not just sick in the hospital, but with something else. Thank you.
Dirt ball. Bill? D-A-R-T, dart. Bill, would you like to add anything about dart ball? Okay. Peace Readers Club, Jill.
Just join us.
She said join us. Online, anywhere, join them. Good. Quilters group. Sandy Falls. I bet they would say join them too. Yeah? Join us. Yeah. Good. So read the little note and go on. Fellowship team, Joyce Pushke. Joyce, would you like to say anything?
Just one thing. Part of that.
Oh, you need a microphone. Sorry.
No, yeah, I can't even hear you over here, so.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you. Just one thing about coffee hour. As I look around this room, almost everyone in this room is on a coffee hour team. I'm so proud of you all. Thank you for doing that. And we're always looking for a few more teams. I think we had, well, I'm not sure, I think 13 or 14. I think right now we're probably serving 3 to 4 times a year. I would love to get that down from 3. So more people are welcome anytime. Just let us know at the office. And you're all, again, I'm very pleased with the teams that we have, the amount of teams that we have.
Joyce, is there a schedule somewhere? I know you had contacted me to join a team.
We're putting it in the voice stuff, or that bulletin, yeah.
Okay.
But right now, we're on their team, so, summer is the start. Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody's good from me.
Okay. And the funeral and luncheon team, I didn't check to see who's in charge of that. Okay, well, Sandy Hall, okay.
But no, Joyce and Joe and Helen.
Okay. Awesome. We are on to our, boy, I missed one of the page. What was I doing? Once again, I know we've all said thank you, many people over, but the teams, the committees, that's what keeps us going. So thank you again to everybody. For our new business, we need to present and adopt the 2025 annual budget. So I think I need Jean back for that.
After those 2 pages is the budget.
At the end, you'll see the total for our proposed budget is going to be $236,635. And this is, where are you at?
What page?
Actually, at time I look, I've got my list.
Doesn't add up.
Page 3 after the first sheet.
Right. At the very end, it's $236,635, and that's a difference of, well, it's 7.8% increase over the 24 budget. The largest part, I think, is the pastors, the pastor's expenses. It reflects the half-time pastor's position, and that may increase and decrease depending on his family size or other determining factors. Pastor's housing allowance is included in the salary. Pastor's health and vision and dental insurance. I'm not reading one, I'm sorry. Oh,
Campfire volunteers.
And then the relocation, or pastor's health, vision, and dental insurance, you found that, is determined on family size. The relocation and travel expenses are included at the $10,000. There are going to be salary increases at 33% for our financial administrator, Chris O'Connell, and Secretary Carrie Van Necton, and our music and fire director, Betty Moulder. Reverend Dave Barber is our interim pastor at 3-month increments and renewed by his and the council's mutual agreement, and is based on a half-time salary. Our pulpit supply, Michael Lewis and Chris Rainey, are paid $75 per service, which is very much appreciated. So our total pastoral and personnel expenses are $165,982 versus 24 at $150,570, which the difference is $15,410. Total utilities is $16,800, increasing by $3,592.96 from our actual cost in 24. Total building and equipment is up by $5,200. I'm going by my notes here. So the building and equipment is set up, is up by $5,213. And our military peril insurance has gone up to $12,473 a quarter, and the deductible has right here. Oh, and the deductible has been increased to $25,000, which we have Karen Kaczynski is checking with other insurers for a better rate. Our total stewardship is budgeted for $1,000 to do more in the categories of new member materials, advertising, peace care, and hospitality. Total operating expenses and the total greater church are much
not including Pastor Dave, the package for the pastor in 2025 is not based on a half-time pastor. It is based on a 3/4-time pastor. Mr. Irwin and I, the search team we don't know what it'll look like, so we put it in, all the factors. Most likely it's not gonna be that number, but we just need to cover ourselves.
I also think that's important. This is a proposed budget, so like you see here's the budget and then there's actual for 24. This is 25, as Sandy said, we're all volunteers making the best judgment based on the knowledge we have. So this is a proposed budget. Some of those things, like the raises for staff, also are proposed because we as a congregation have to support the church together and make these decisions together. So it is not just Jean, it is not just Chris, it's all of us who do this together. I just needed to say that.
Thank you, Emily.
Do we have a motion?
I want to personally thank Jean Bach for her efforts this last year. She is almost 80 years old. I want to know who out there. No, it's amazing. She's 78. 39. No, but seriously, how many of you out there in that age range would be willing to step up and tackle technology and email and reports and reporting to us? She stepped completely outside of her comfort zone because nobody wanted to do it. And that's a fact. So I am so grateful for her. I am so impressed with you, Jean. I cannot tell you. I mean, good for you. Thank you. Sorry, I outed her on her age. I was making a point.
I just wanted to say that I actually have enjoyed being on council and being the treasurer, because that's what I did. I was a bookkeeper at St. Paul's for a long time. So I'm kind of getting back into it, but it's been a learning experience. But I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right. Do we have a motion to accept the proposed budget for 2025?
I'll make a motion that we have it to pass through.
Oh,
I just wanted to add a little bit to what Shirley said, on behalf of the search committee, and on this number for the proposed salary, proposed compensation for the new pastor, and that is the congregation did, in an advisory vote that the council adopted, did say halftime. But Shirley and others thought we ought to have a little room for negotiation. So if it's possible, and we don't know for sure that it will be possible, but if it's possible, then the search committee may be able to negotiate with somebody if they find a candidate who's really attractive to the committee, and to say, well, maybe we could go a little higher than half-time. So that's why there's 3/4 time in the budget, okay? I just wanted to explain that.
perfect. All right. I think Helen gave us a motion to accept the budget. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. All right, our other new business, I'm going to ask Margaret to come and join the conversation, because we are going to add a little bit of verbiage change in the endowment wording, and hopefully we'll take a quick vote on that.
Hey,
bylaws or our policies have to be approved by the congregation, not just the council. So the committee worked quite hard on 4 different changes, just to update our verbiage mostly. And then the council was with us on this process and approved it, and we're hoping that you will give us our blessing as well. This is on page 24, and I'm just going to go quickly through this because most of you have not read it. The chairperson and the secretary, it just said that we should be elected, and it didn't say when. So now the change will say, among the members, a chairperson and secretary shall be elected on an annual basis through a nomination and voting process done with the committee after the annual meeting. So we will be meeting after this meeting and selecting our officers. Redefining who from council is the representative. It used to say that the church president was our representative or our liaison between our committee and the council, but the president has a lot to do. And so they can choose whomever they wish to be a representative between the endowment and the church council. And then this is again verbiage, we redefined members abstaining from voting with personal interests. And as you know, most of us are interested in most everything, so it's really hard, we almost all have to abstain. But I did, in doing all of this, I reached out to the Wisconsin Conference, and Reverend Warner is the head of these types of situations at the state level. He reviewed our complete policy. He praised us for some of the wording that was done when we first established this committee, and he also gave us suggestions on making some changes. So we feel that we're not just doing this on our own locally, that we reached out to for some expert advice. And so it will just say that the members shall at all times abstain from any decision in which their personal interest conflicts with the interest of the fund. And then there was quite a bit of confusion about this, but just trust me. It's about the pastoral discretion funds, and previously the pastor could ask for 25% of our investment income for needs within the congregation. We reworded it to make it clearer. So added to the above that the pastor may apply for aid as he or she sees a need within the congregation. The names of those in need shall remain anonymous. This does not allow the pastor to use the funds. Rather, the pastor would request the funds from the endowment committee, which would need to be voted on the same as any other request. So it's not, the pastor can't just say, I want 25% of your endowment and I'll hand it out as I wish. It would have to go through. So it's not built in for an emergency fund that's in the budget. This would be more of a long-range fund that a pastor would be able to bring to our attention. So I'm hoping that you will approve these well-worked and well-thought-out changes to our bylaws.
Thanks, Margaret, and the whole team for working hard on that. Do I have a motion to accept the changes in the wording for the endowment committee? Oh, questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right. Yep. Thank you. Volunteers can't be fired. Do we have a motion to accept the? Shirley, any second? The siblings, simmer down. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Voting results. Ken, do you want to share?
I know you guys are waiting
On bated breath. Joanne Mansell, welcome to the endowment committee. Glenn Barber, Terry Lidke, and Terry Traska, welcome to the. I'm so excited, we're almost done. I promise, it's not many pages, but it's really big font because I can't see it all. So, we're at the president in quotation marks, remarks.
agenda where it states the president's comments. Lynn, would you like to come up and share your thoughts? Seriously, this has been quite a year for all of us. And although many people have held this church together, I need to say that Lynn Strelo has done more for myself, the council, and quite frankly, this church than anyone I know. She has held the office together and created such a supporting environment for Carrie to take over that I barely stepped foot in her office this year. Lynn, along with many others, keep our youth coming back each week for Peace Power Night. She handled the bazaar with many others, and she handled the bazaar with grace and brought in a record amount of funds for this church. Her part in the worship and music committee is instrumental. Get it? The dedication she has to leading the singing each week is appreciated by those here and online. And more personally, she really has followed through on as many of the presidential obligations as I have since we've had a change. She even re-vacuumed Friday before this weekend's festivities here. And I need you to know how truly appreciated you are to all of us. Please know that.
Very surprised.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Always.
I would like to read my next sentence, Joe. You and I are thinking. Can I say that she does this all with a smile on her face? I've not heard her complain or be grumpy, not once. So thanks again. There are a few more people we need to thank, and those are our outgoing council members and endowment members. Bruce Wozleski, Eric Winter, Brian Ermeling are completing their term on council, while Barb Ermeling is leaving the endowment. Thank you for all your dedication and service to us all. Brian's financial expertise has been invaluable during his time in leadership. I hope we can come to you with questions in the future. Eric?
We are, so.
Yeah, we are whether you want us there or not. Eric was our president more than once. He's also our fellow glass half full happy guy every time we are with him. I'd like to think that a bit of his optimism and positive energy has rubbed off on me as I finish the last year in council. Bruce is our steady man with few words, but we can always go to him when we need something. It's really been a pleasure working with all of you and getting to know you on a more personal level. Thanks again, you guys. Because our little church is like all other small town churches in this country, we have to keep pushing forward and trying to build membership while supporting the existing members that we have. This isn't always easy when we have opposing ideas about what's best for the church. I'm so excited that Jean is resurrecting the stewardship committee. This is a positive step toward having Peace Church being noticed in the community as a fun and vibrant church. Thank you, Jean, for suggesting it and being willing to get the group together. For the first time in a long time, I feel the tide turning toward positive changes in this congregation. In my mind, it's because of the extra effort that you all put in. I'm going to name a few people with the knowledge that I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody, and I'm sorry ahead of time if you are one that is missed. That is not my intention, but I feel it's very necessary to personally thank the search committee for their many hours of work finalizing our profile, and I know this was not an easy task. Thank you. Carrie, our amazing new secretary. She has truly been a godsend. Chris, our financial guru, who has been steady, constant in that office for so many years. Ben, who makes us have such an upbeat and meaningful mixture of music.
He left.
He would have liked that. Michael and the tech team for keeping us hearing, seeing, and reading what is necessary for service each week. Chris and Mike for stepping up in a way that most of us couldn't imagine doing. Leading us in worship and all that it entails is a wonderful gift that you share with us each month. Dave, oh my gosh, Dave, although one of the humblest humans I know, you are owed a monstrous debt of gratitude from everyone for keeping us together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. when it feels like you're not. You are appreciated. As we close the meeting today, I want to thank everybody and look around the room at each other. Whether we completely see eye to eye on all issues involving peace, one thing we can all agree on is that we love our church and we want it to be the best it can be. Relying on the members, the facility, and the resources that we have today can lead us to a brighter tomorrow. If we all work together, if we communicate, and we stay positive. Thank you. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Paula, second? All right. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. And we would love if everybody grabs their own garbage and all that good stuff. And